Welcome back to the League of Hustlers, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a channel where we help you to achieve financial freedom and reach your dreams in life. Every week, we give you proven strategies and action steps to move you closer to your goals. So grab a pen and paper and let's prepare to prosper. Today, we need you all to really pay attention and listen and watch whatever platform you're on. Be sure to watch this entire episode. The things that we're gonna cover today, we do believe are going to be game changing. And if you properly position yourselves, your life could change forever. All right? We do believe that we are on the precipice of a major trend and change and revolution in technology, finances, and pretty much every industry, all right, across the board. I'm your co-host, HT.
I'm CD Barnes.
And this is the League of Hustlers. Let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency. All right. Unless you've been living under a rock, I know that you have heard of cryptocurrency. If you haven't, please do your research. And we want to give a disclaimer. First and foremost, we are not financial advisors. We are not advising you to do anything particular. The purpose of this episode is to really just look at this market, look at the implications of it, and examine the changes that are coming on a global scale. All right? With all of this stuff going on in the stock market, with GameStop, with AMC, Wall Street Bets, and a bunch of other players, hedge funds and stuff like that, a lot of people are turning towards investing and looking at ways to grow your money, right? And I've had numerous people, tons of people hitting me up talking about, oh, should I invest in this? Should I invest in GameStop? I'm like, I'm not telling you to invest in anything, but what I am telling you to do, and I'll tell everybody this, is we need to understand what's going on in the market. First and foremost, and when I say market, I mean financial markets. First and foremost, we're not taught this information in school, or we weren't growing up. Now they have like finance classes and stuff like that. Did you have any, CD, like financial classes?
I can't think of an actual finance class that I've had. I've took 1,000 math classes, but none were really geared towards actual finance, budgeting, investing, and managing money in that way, or growing money, really, should I say.
Right. So, and it's critical, right? We're in a capitalistic society, and we aren't being taught this stuff, and we should be. But that's neither here or there. We're here now. So what I would suggest everyone do is learn about this stuff. Learn about basically what the freaking world revolves around. It revolves around capital, and we need to be smarter about it. And with that being said, the big thing that's coming down the pipeline like a speeding bullet train is cryptocurrency. And we had shouts out to Bitcoin Vegan. We had the brother on the show a few months ago, and he broke it down like, what is Bitcoin? That's the name of the episode. Go check it out. We'll leave link in the description or on the little card up somewhere on the screen. But this has major implications. CD and I both were computer programmer majors in college. Right? And this is right up our alley. because cryptocurrency, I'm gonna read off a description of what cryptocurrency is, right? First and foremost. So cryptocurrency is a digital currency that can be used to buy goods and services, but uses an online ledger with strong cryptography to secure online transactions. Much of the interest in these unregulated currencies is to trade for profit, with speculators at times driving prices skyward. All right, so at its essence, cryptocurrency is a form of payment, all right, that can be exchanged online for goods and services. It's basically a form of payment. It's a digital form of payment, and it uses blockchain technology. All right, so blockchain is a type of cryptography. All right, it's a way to secure transactions. All right, it's a programming method and a way to secure transactions, whether it be in this instance currency to currency, trade goods, trade services, whatever you have it, whatever have you, it's a way to secure data. All right, at its essence. And the whole reason that cryptocurrency came about is because the guy or group of people who made it, notoriously named Satoshi Nakamoto, looked at the market in 2008 with the whole recession and everything, what was going on, and they figured like, hey, we need to create a coin or some type of currency that doesn't lose its value like the dollar is losing its value. All right, and so they created Bitcoin. All right, you have to do your own research on this, but what this introduced is a way for all types of transactions to be done. All right, from a contract between person to person, from selling a good online to another person around the world, or selling anything online, or exchanging value, exchanging documents, exchanging currency, exchanging just all sorts of things. This is the purpose of cryptocurrency. It's a way to move money very quickly online. All right, you got anything you want to add to that, CD?
That's basically it. I mean, aside from that, I think it's apparent. It's a digital currency. To kind of be concise about it, it's a digital currency. So I think the next lane to kind of lead into with the conversation is where that kind of lands in the current landscape of the world that we're in right now.
Right.
Where does it actually fit? I mean, if you look at like the world landscape, you look at the money, like H was saying, this was, invented or created around the time of an economic collapse. Here again, hate to date the episode, it is what it is, 2021, we're in the cusp of the COVID pandemic, global pandemic. There's a lot of economic downfalls happening, on a global stage right now. So basically, this is another opportunity essentially for digital currency to kind of come in and prove its use case. Another thing is, even with the COVID-19, you see a lot of businesses having to beef up or be more strategic about digitizing their business in their industry, whatever it is. Every industry right now is finding ways to innovate and have a better digital presence. People aren't actually going into stores the same way that they used to and handing over cash. That stuff has been kind of being phased out anyway. A lot of people don't carry cash anyway. They're walking around with debit cards, credit cards, and now it's like the next phase we see rolling in is like the tokens, the coins, moving away from even the dollar, period. And another note with that, you see like the international level of the international economy, period. Like, for example, we're in the US, when COVID hit, before it even hit the US, when it hit in China or other places, before it got here, we began to run out of certain things. You know, people were short on Clorox wipes. People were short on toilet paper. All, you know, all of these things, and it's because we're participating in a global economy. Essentially, we rely on other countries, and other countries rely on us in regards to trading. All right, now we have, you know, it didn't used to be this way. Now we have the internet. We have, you know, ways to kind of transfer funds, data. You know, we can get from this side of the globe to the next side of the globe in the same day. It's kind of like, you know, so trading is happening rapidly. So what that does is it puts us in a space where the opportunity is just very relevant for something like a digital currency that has its value, you know, on a global stage, essentially. You know,
Right.
it's kind of major right now. So even if, you know, you're not a fan of it, you don't have to be a fan of it. It's an opportunity to kind of, you know, make an investment. You may not want to participate. Like, I'm not going out and trading in all my USD and, you know, buying all Bitcoin or a particular coin and paying my bills and living my life on that. However, I do see that there's an opportunity, and that it could be a very lucrative investment. There's already been several people to make millions off of these cryptocurrencies.
Right. Right. And to that point, some people do. I know some people that literally do live off of Bitcoin and crypto, and they've made it, you know, a lifestyle. But, you know, not to get ahead of ourselves, but the point that we're trying to make, take for example, when we first talked about Bitcoin on this channel, it was at what, 13 or 15,000,
Right.
and now it's literally at $37,000.
Right.
You know, so
months ago, this wasn't even a whole year. It hasn't even been a whole year.
Like, if you have got in it when we first mentioned it on the show, your money would have more than doubled by now. Like, literally, this is no, you know, do the math. Go and look at our the last episode that we talked about Bitcoin, and then right now it's at $37,000. I want to say it was at like 15 or something like that, 13 or 15. Definitely. Earlier last year, 2020 in March, it was at $3,000. It started off at $7,000 and it dropped to $3,000. Okay, and this is another point that is very important to consider. Cryptocurrency is very, very volatile, extremely volatile, and that means that it goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. All right, and I lost money in crypto around 2017, 2018. All right, and that's because I didn't understand it. All right, and what I did is I got in it. It was volatile. It was too volatile for me, and it dropped, and it went up, and it dropped again. And so I was like, yo, let me just pull my money out. But I pulled it out on a dip, and I shouldn't have. I should have held on to it. But now I know better, right? What did I do? I went and I started researching it. This industry is so vast and it's so different. It's unlike anything that has ever been created before. So you have to do your research. But since it's been out since 2008, what we can see now is that it has trends that it follows. All right. There are charts that you can look at. Just looking at the Bitcoin chart, you can see how this thing moves, right? Just over time. With Bitcoin, as we discussed in the episode with Bitcoin Vegan, there's this thing called the halving that happens, which essentially means, and it happens every 210,000 blocks. And what essentially happens is that the amount that's paid to miners for mining Bitcoin, something that you need to research, the amount that they're paid to do it gets cut in half, right? So every 210,000 blocks, the amount that miners get paid to mine the Bitcoin gets cut in half. And what this does is it drives the value up astronomically and exponentially, okay? Which is why the value keeps shooting up and keeps shooting up, all right? Now, if you look at the other cryptocurrencies, the other cryptocurrencies are different than Bitcoin. One of the top ones is like Ethereum. Okay, and this is considered an altcoin. I don't really consider it an altcoin because it's so big and it's so game changing, and it's more of a platform, right? And the way I like to, you know, explain it to people is like, I look at it, Bitcoin as like gold, and I look at Ethereum like the internet, right? It has a use case like the internet or the app store, right? And what developers are doing, they're building applications to run on the Ethereum network using ETH, and Ethereum has this thing called gas. Gotta look this stuff up, all right? But anyway, think of these other altcoins as apps, and think of Ethereum as the app store, right? So these other altcoins are building applications to run on the Ethereum network, okay? Which is why I personally think that Ethereum has a better use case than Bitcoin, all right? Now, there are other quote unquote app stores or other altcoins trying to achieve what Ethereum achieves, such as Polkadot, okay, which is another very popular altcoin, all right? And the key into all of this, again, is you have to do the research, and you have to really research what the implications of these technologies mean for our future, right? Instead of you being concerned that someone is going to, you know, hack your phone or bank account or, you know, account on social media, blah, blah, blah. Blockchain technology would essentially like prevent it. Like 99.9% of the security problems that we face today with data could be solved with blockchain. And this is why Google, Amazon, Facebook, IBM, Oracle, PayPal, Square, Microsoft, all sorts of huge companies are starting to adapt blockchain technology. And this is why we really want you all to understand that we're at a very critical point right now. And I feel like it's like the early days of the internet, because this is going to be game changing. And these huge companies are behind the scenes implementing blockchain technology, right? And they're not telling anyone about it. You'll hear a little news article there, a little news article here, a little news article there, but you kind of breeze right over it. But behind the scenes, they are investing massive amounts of time and resources into switching to blockchain, right? And what that means is that, just like with the internet, we started out with what? Lycos and Yahoo and Netscape and you know, all these different little companies. Some of them survived, some of them didn't. But the room for getting in at that ground level, it was a lot of room to get in and a lot of profits to be made. And that's what I feel like we're at now. All right. And, you know, I would just recommend everyone, well, not recommend, I'm not recommending anything, but I would just say, do your research and learn about cryptocurrency and what it means and what it does and how it's solving so many problems that we have today. And that means, right, like I think Elon Musk said, you know, the bigger the problem you solve, the more money people will pay you to solve that problem. It's just that simple, right? And so what does that mean for us? It means that these companies that are solving these problems, these security problems, are going to be massively valuable. So what should we do? Or what am I doing? I'm investing in those companies that are solving those problems, you know? So do your own research, you know?
Right. And that's like the perfect point, okay? It's just to, number one, stay a student, all right, to everything that's happening around you. This is a great opportunity for you to get in somewhere on the ground level and potentially, double, triple, quadruple, or skyrocket, your investment. There's plenty of lanes to get in, like Ace was just pointing out. Even if you're not directly buying the coins, you got tons of companies out here that are like using the technology to solve problems. Find those companies and get in.
Yep.
Perfect opportunity. That reminds me of somebody was talking about like the San Francisco gold rush or whatever.
Yes.
Everybody was going out to look for gold, but a lot of people didn't go look for gold. They instead went out and invested in a bunch of shovels and picks and things like that, and sold it to all the people that were going to look for the gold. And that's how they made their money.
Right.
So it's all about positioning yourself, all right, doing the research, number one. Number two, positioning yourself, to be prosperous, prepare to prosper. That's what we're all about, all right? Look it up, find something that like resonates with you, that just makes so much sense to you that you're willing to put a little bit of money into it, invest in it. We're not gambling, all right? Don't be confused. We're not gambling. Don't take your life savings and, close your eyes and pick a coin and, throw it all on a particular altcoin or something. Don't do that. You know what I mean? I'm not recommending you do anything, but I'm suggesting that's not the thing to do. However, like H was saying, there's a trend, there's a pattern to these things. So over time, the trend is upward. So maybe if you invest something and, just let it sit. Just let it sit for a little while, okay? Invest, and an investment, number one, like I'm not saying don't be a day trader, because a lot of people make money doing that too. But depending on how much money you have, if you're not investing a ton of money, you only got a little bit, it might just be a good idea to just throw a little bit in and let it sit. Throw a little bit in at a time and let it sit.
And that's called dollar cost averaging.
Exactly.
Research it.
Dollar cost averaging. Let it sit. Over time, the market is going to trend upward. It will go up, down, up, down, up, down. But over an extended period of time, the trend is going to be upward. And that's where, you're hoping to land, is in an upward trend. So do your homework and choose wisely. There's plenty of opportunities out there. It's definitely happening right now. A lot of people have already, changed their lives with this whole scenario, and we can too. All we have to do is prepare and position ourselves, and we'll be good.
And we'll prosper. And that's what we're all about. That's why we named this season Prepare to Prosper.
Prepare to prosper.
And we just want to bring you this type of information so that you can make the decision yourself, right? I think the main thing that affects, many people is that they're not prepared. They don't know about this stuff. They would rather watch Netflix and chill, who wouldn't, right? They would rather blow money on clothes, on jewelry, on, fast living, and not be prepared to actually prosper. And what you're doing is that you're preparing for poverty, right? By doing those types of things. But no, what we're saying, we just want to bring you this information, and then you make the decision from there. We can lead you to the water, but we can't make you drink it, right? And so, moving right along, with cryptocurrency, how do you buy it? You buy cryptocurrency on an exchange, okay? An exchange basically converts your fiat money. Fiat money is like dollars, euros, yen, pesos, blah, blah, blah. So it converts your fiat money into a coin, all right? Such as Bitcoin, such as Ethereum, such as, Litecoin, Polkadot, Cardano, so many coins, all right? on an exchange, they will have a certain number of coins. All right. Every exchange doesn't have every coin. All right. Some exchanges have a certain amount of coins, some don't. And this is something that I ran into. I was hearing a lot of people talk about Polkadot, for instance. Polkadot is like really shooting up the charts, but you can't get Polkadot on every exchange, right? So, for instance, Coinbase doesn't hold Polkadot, but and neither does Binance.us. Binance is another exchange, but you know, Kraken, which is another exchange, it does. Right. So if you want to be in a specific coin, then you need to be on the exchange that holds that coin. All right. But so an exchange is where you convert your dollars into coins. And then once it's on an exchange, you can move it around, buy it, sell it, trade it, and whatnot. So you have to be very careful, though. All right. Again, this is new. This technology is new. This whole industry is new. This whole market, whatever you want to call it, is new. There have been hacks on exchanges where people lost everything. Some exchanges that in the past were fraudulent and they were basically taking people's money. There are, you just need to be careful, like very careful. Research, you have to do your research. Again, some exchanges in the past got hacked and people lost everything that they had on the exchange. So I would, suggest you learn about this, learn how to protect your money when you move it around on an exchange. All right, make sure the exchange that you choose is reputable. Another question, is crypto illegal? No, it's not. If it was, people would have been shut it down. The government would have been shut it down. So it's not illegal. Another question. Let's see. How do you protect your money when you put it on an exchange? One way, what a lot of people recommend is that you put it on an exchange, your money. So you convert your dollars to a coin, and then after you do whatever trading that you're gonna do, it's suggested to move it into what's called a wallet. All right. So a digital wallet will basically hold your coins. All right. There are physical wallets, like a literal USB wallet that you plug into your computer, and there's software wallets. So again, do your research, take your pick. All right. Let's see what else. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments, right? Drop a question in the comments because we're going to be covering this more often. How often, I don't know, but we have to talk about this stuff. We have to, because it's so major and it's so game changing right now. And what we promise to you all is that the stuff that we're learning, we're going to share it with you. All right. These patterns that are in cryptocurrency have or can be analyzed using stock market tools. I'll say that, right? So your dollar cost averaging type of methods, your Fibonacci sequence, Fibonacci retracements, and these are like ways to analyze stocks and read like the markets and read charts and stuff like that. Your candles, right? Which and your wicks and your opens and your closes. A bunch of the tools that are in the stock market and in finance can be correlated and used with crypto as well. But just understand that the cryptocurrency market is extremely more volatile than the stock market. All right. So you could see, 10%, 20% gains. Like right now, I've been, checking on these currencies and they are moving like 30% a day, right? Some of them dropping 30% a day, some of them shooting up 10%, 20%. So just understand the market is really volatile. So if you get in it, don't be scared, don't get cold feet because you see your money moving like drastically. Again, that's where I messed up a while ago, a few years ago. I got cold feet and pulled my money out. And what do you know? A few months later, that mug shot back up. Even to now, you know, it shot up even further. I think back then I was playing around in it at like $9,000, $10,000. And now, you know, it's at $37,000. So don't get cold feet. Just and understand you have to do your own research. You have to analyze the market and understand why these things move the way that they do. All right, you got anything on that before? I want to show them this this chart too.
No, I was actually going to say that, man. We should go ahead and show the chart, because the chart is going to actually, it's like the proof. You know, this isn't just something we're telling you. We're not making this up. You know, show the graph, man. This is like the actual raw data of what's going on and what you could potentially be a part of, you know?
All right. So look at this. Now, this is, so what I did, I'm in Coinbase. And again, Coinbase is an exchange where you can convert your dollars, fiat money, into an exchange or into crypto, right? So if we look at over the course of a year, so I changed this to a year, and these are the tradable assets that are on Coinbase. I'm going to sort it by the percent change that has happened over the past year. So we're looking at how much these coins have moved over the past year, 12 months, okay? There are 42 coins listed on Coinbase. So Coinbase allows you to trade 42 coins, all right? If you look at the bottom two or the bottom three coins, the 42nd coin lost 33%. So if you had $100 worth of ETC, which is Ethereum Classic, which is a whole nother conversation. Ethereum Classic came about with, when a fork happens in cryptocurrency, which basically means that a set of developers decide to go off and do their own thing. And this set, they went off and created Ethereum Classic. So that coin lost 33%, which means if you invested $100 into Ethereum Classic a year ago, you would have lost $33. Simply put, right? You follow me? Good. All right. If you invested in EOS, you would have lost $28. If you $100 in EOS, you would have lost $28. If you had have invested $100 in the DAI coin, you would have lost $1.39. All right. Now, on the flip side, and these are the bottom three coins. So only the bottom three coins lost money. Okay, I want you to understand that. This is the point that we're trying to make. Now, if you had have invested, let's say you took $4,200, right, and put $100 in each one of the coins that are listed on Coinbase. Now, that means that in Dash, you would have gained 50 cents. In Bitcoin Cash, which is another fork coin, you would have gained $9.51. Zcash, $24. BAT, $24. Augur, $32. Orchid, $33. Look at these numbers: 55, 66, 106, 110, all the way up. Bitcoin is in here somewhere. With Bitcoin, you would have gained $296, which means you put your $100 would have turned into $296 just with Bitcoin. Okay. Stellar Lumens, which is a popular one, your $100 would have changed or turned into $381. All right. And it just goes up. And this is, like I said, just putting $100 in each of these. Yes, $4,200 is a grip. All right. But just follow me. Put $100 and this is what your money is turning into. Synthetics, your $100 would have turned into $1,300. Okay. UMA, it would have turned into $2,700. All the way up to Aave, your $100 would have turned into $82,000. $82,000. All right. That is putting $100 in a year ago. A year ago. I need you to understand when we say this is a massive revolution happening right now, a transfer of wealth, this is what we're talking about. Okay? Ave gained the most. $82,000. You
that's serious.
$100 and it turns into $82,000.
That's serious. Most people don't make $82,000 on their job.
The vast majority of people don't.
A lot of people spend $100 on shoes,
coffee,
dinner. Well, you talking coffee? That's over time. I'm talking one pair of shoes, $100.
One stop shop.
One pair of shoes, $100.
Gone.
You know what I mean? Hang out with friends, dinner, drinks, $100.
How many times have you blown $100 this year? Just think, like CD said, in one sitting,
right.
In one purchase,
one moment. Purse, $100. Shoes, $100. Night out on the town, $100.
Bro, I went to a restaurant. This is a side note. It's a little story. I don't know if I think I told you about this. Went to a restaurant. Long story short, it's like this super fly, posh whatever restaurant, rooftop, blah blah blah. And I didn't know I ordered pure white Hennessy because I didn't understand any of the other stuff on the menu. Right? It was like a foreign restaurant, whatever. Bill ended up, after I ordered like maybe not six shots, maybe like 4 shots. Bill came out to like freaking $230. One night with 4 shots, pure white Hennessy. They were charging out the wazoo, and the bill came out. I was like, "What the?" My wife looked at the bill like, "Yo, what did you order?" And I was like, "Pure white Hennessy." Like I didn't know. I'm not really typically a Hennessy drinker, but that was the only thing that I recognized on the menu. I was like, "Oh, Hennessy," and she was like, "You sure?" The waitress was like, "You sure you want that?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, what's the issue? She was like, "This one." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "You sure?" I'm like, "Look, go get me the Hennessy." And she was like, "The pure white Hennessy." And I'm like, "Yeah."
Bring me 4 of them.
Shots on me. Ended up bill being like $200-something. Boom, gone just like that. Now, what if I had to put $200 on Ave?
Just like that, man.
Just like that.
It's simple, folks, all right? It's just a mind shift, okay? You actually have the money, all right? You have the tools, the knowledge, all right? You have a phone, you have the internet. If you're watching this, you have the internet. You can actually look up all this information on your own. We're having the discussion right here, right now. I mean, enough has been said here for you to have enough insight to at least make a decision to say, okay, I'm going to start looking into that. I'm going to start if you haven't already.
Bring it to the water, ladies and gentlemen.
It's that simple, man. I mean,
drink.
I think it's time for the challenge.
Yes.
Yes. At this point in time, you already know. League of Hustlers, man, you gotta take some homework away with you, okay? This is not just a show where we're just gonna talk your head off. We need you to actually leave and actually go do something.
Yes.
Right? We want you to be prosperous. League of Hustlers. So your challenge for this episode is, if you're not already on any of these digital exchanges, all right, go out and create an account.
That's it.
And
And
create an account.
one piece to add into that is research what you buy.
Research. Simple as that.
Create an account,
Create an account.
get some coins, right? And this is up to you. But if you want to do the challenge, just research, right? Create an account, get on there and research these coins. Each altcoin has a specific purpose.
They're all different.
They're all different. All different. And just research what you're buying into. So each coin is solving different problems. All right. Understand what problem that they're solving. Find one that's doing something that you think is cool and consider getting into it. The same thing with stocks, right? That's what I learned with stocks, that everyone was like, yo, never buy a stock that you don't understand, right? The first rule, understand what you're buying. Understand what you're buying, all right? So, like CD said, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro, but that's one piece I wanted to add in there.
That's it. That's your challenge. Get out there, do your research, get on one of these exchanges, create your account. You don't even have to buy anything. Just create the account, all right, and start doing the research. Just put yourself in a position that if you find something that you like or you're interested in while you're doing the research, you're already there. You can just go ahead and swoop it up. $10, $20, $100. That's it. Nothing major.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, and that's it. It's just that simple. Just that simple. So consider getting yourself a little bit of crypto, and prepare to prosper, man. Do your research. You see the numbers. We're at a really critical point, and I wouldn't say it's ground level, but we're on the launch pad right now. We're on the launch pad right now. I guarantee you, we're on the launch pad. It's a countdown. And as they say in the crypto world, it's altcoin season right now. So find you a coin that makes sense to you and get into it. All right?
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, man.
You already know what to do, man. If you found something useful in this episode, any good information, share it, like, comment, subscribe. Got any questions? Send us an email, questions@leagueofhustlers.com. And we just want you to be prosperous, and we want you to be prepared to prosper.
Yeah, man.
And with that, we out.